Senate in Washington. When we come back, we'll be in New York. Stay with us. Sergei Prokofiev's opera War and Peace is perhaps his greatest achievement in that genre. Written during the time of Hitler's Russian invasion, the composer died before he ever saw it realized on stage. Now, for the first time in the Metropolitan Opera's history, War and Peace has come to New York. The New Yorker magazine says the Met has brought about a marvel of opera singing, and here is a look at some of the highlights. Joining me now is the conductor, Valery Gergiev, who has spearheaded the production along with the Mariinsky Theater in St. Petersburg, and one of the stars of War and Peace, baritone Dmitri Hvorostovsky. I am pleased to have them here to talk about this heroic production at the Met. Welcome. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Great to have you back. This is the third time I think we've been here. This is historic for the Metropolitan Opera to do this.
It's a big achievement because it's a grand opera and logistics are huge. But I think it gives enormous opportunity for everyone in New York, being such an opera city, to say we know a lot about Prokofiev. Because what I don't like always when people speak about Prokofiev or Strauss or Wagner or Shostakovich, and then they say, well, this one I don't know at all. This one I didn't hear because we didn't do it. Then it's difficult to speak about items because people say, well, I wish I knew it, but I just couldn't see it ever. So today was a chance.
So why did it take them so long over there? I mean, did it take Joseph Volpe to sort of say, look, this takes a real commitment on our part, and we've got to, I know how we can get together the kind of resources to do it, and we're prepared to do it at long last?
If you look back 5 years ago, we met with Mr. Volpe and talked about big cooperation between the houses and between me personally and the Met. Then we decided that something new will be done, and then it will be justified for me to devote more time to the Met rather than just come and conduct something, because everyone is very busy. So you conduct here, you conduct in Salzburg, you conduct London, Paris, at home in Petersburg. But the reason for me was to see that the Gambler, another Prokofiev's opera, or Lady Macbeth Shostakovich, and War and Peace finally will be done here with the Russian singers, also with American singers, to put it together, rehearse, and find a style and energy which will be adequate to what composers hope to hear.
What does Prokofiev mean to you?
It's a great composer of the 20th century who was very successful in the film, Alexander Nevsky and Ivan the Terrible.
Right.
Not only Eisenstein, but also Prokofiev was a very important reason for the success of these incredible films. Then ballet, incredibly successful, like Stravinsky. Prokofiev was competing with anyone. Then opera, which was not so known in America for a long time, except Love of the Oranges. And then symphony, piano concerti, and so on. It's a multi, let's say, track activity. And he was very, very gifted, very Russian, very international. He was very European in Russia and very Russian in Europe. So he was incredible, electric person, and he died in the same day with Stalin. So his death was
the same day.
The same day, 5th of March, 1953. Can you imagine? And his death was practically neglected. No one paid any tribute to Prokofiev.
And he went back to Russia at a time that the reign of terror on the part of Stalin was in full force, in the 30s.
He was very brave. He went in the 30s, in the mid-30s, just before the terror was really climaxing in the death of so many people. Great, the best, I would say, talent of Russia in the science and the literature, even in the military, was destroyed or put in the camps. You know, Prokofiev was brave because he felt it was his place to be there. I was a friend of Oleg Prokofiev, his son, and we never found a real reason why Prokofiev was with this decision going back to Soviet Union, because he hoped that his operas and symphonies and piano music, and so will be performed very often. Maybe he hoped that it will be done by best theatrical collectives like Bolshoi, Mariinsky, Kirov then. And it will be mistake to say his music was better before and then it was less good after he came. I think it was very, very good in the 20s, very, very good in the beginning when he was a young composer, and still was very, very interesting when he went back, like Romeo and Juliet of Prokofiev is fantastic music for the ballet, and War and Peace, which we are talking today, is a Soviet period. Some of this music is incredibly good. Some of it is a little propagandistic. We have to remember that Hitler was invading the Soviet Union. It was very close to Moscow already. Then Prokofiev was writing this music. So over-patriotic element is taking place.
He had multiple agendas in doing it.
Sure.
Take us through the sense of a character, you know. I mean, I want, in a sense, to be able to see this from the... We can't imagine what it is, most of us, to sing as well as you do. So, you know, what do you fear when you're on stage? Where's your head in the performance of a major?
Should I really be talking about it? Well, this is my own...
Recognition of fear is not something we want.
My own kitchen, which, you know,
this is where you're
based on lots of preparation and lots of homework. Yeah. And when you the stage, it's like your personality, your musical personality, performing personality, has cast adrift, you know. It's not you anymore. This is are unique and separated sometimes from your own body.
Really?
Yes, and driven by music, driven by your role, acting and participation with conductor and orchestra. It's difficult to explain.
I understand, but you did a good job of trying. Is it different from night to night for you?
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Based on what?
I experiment every single time. I do new things, not in purpose, but because this is my nature. And but it all stays in the certain basic things that we've created together. With
but what's an experimentation for you?
Words and accent, the phrases, acting, you know, it's all combined.
The color of sound, the tempo, and the speed of your speech. Sometimes
it's like an acting. It's like an acting, and it can never be ever the same all the way. So it's always different. You react on your partner's behaviors and response, and the way conductor does the music. It's the atmosphere in the air, because the audience plays quite an important role.
They do. What do they give you?
Response is something that flies in the air. You can feel it. You can sense it.
I think it's important today. It's a very important part of our talk, because contemporary art can be total success or big success in the eyes of audience and general public. And I'm not talking about just 1% of people who love art just to go to the opera. We want to see many more. And how you take their imagination, take their time. You offer them something. What happens now? Improvising is very important, because you can't prepare everything and do it 10 times exactly in the same way. So artists like Dmitri, Anna Netrebko, I just mentioned a few names here, they are able to do it. And with the orchestra and chorus of the Met, we will support it all the time. And also, I want to do it. I want to be able to do it and know that orchestra will support me. So we know each other for already 5, 6, 7 years. And it is very important that today audience goes and hopes that there will be a performance which was already taking place, but there will be something new. Then some people who I know in New York come 2 times. Some people come 4 times. You know, then these people
expecting that they'll see something.
Yeah, and then they tell us, you know, but this one was especially interesting. So that's what we hope, that the opera and ballet is a very strange area where people just go and hear the same Othello or also the Figaro. Then you ask him, but how many times you heard it? They say, maybe 50. But so what else you want to expect after 50 times? Well, I will go another 20 times, because, you know, there is a good cast, there's an orchestra conductor, design, director, then I want to hear it again. So this is a secret of art, the mystery. Then the talent, the gift, you know, excites you. And talent of Dmitri or Anna is that in this scene they can improvise, and then I'm the witness and an audience for them, not only colleague and conductor, but audience. And I see many, many, many things happening today the way they didn't happen yesterday.
Yeah. And that's also what brings you back and again and again and again to do it. It is the thrill of that artistic
and
drive.
composer hopes for it. Prokofiev really needs this kind of, cooperation with an artist.
Yeah.
Cooperation.
Prokofiev is one of your favorite composers too.
Oh yes, yes.
Because
he was my favorite composer since I was a little child studying in music school, because I liked his ballads. That is fantastic. The Cenerentola, it's the Romeo and Juliet, and I mostly liked. And I played his as a pianist, because I studied piano. I played his piano pieces too.
Can a role like this be a defining role for an opera star?
I think in this case, opera star Dmitri Hvorostovsky helps a huge opera like War and Peace to be more accessible for the public, because they trust it will be interesting if Dmitri, who sings Verdi or Mozart or Tchaikovsky, brings the same qualities to unknown opera to them. They feel more, let's say, welcomed to this world, because we have to understand that War and Peace is done seriously for the first time in New York.
Right.
And by the Met, in the history of the Met, which is such a huge history of the Met, they did it for the first time ever. So it's an important decision. We say better late than ever, than never, correct? But the first time ever is a huge responsibility.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to be here again.
I mean, this is a huge, mammoth production, an important event for the Metropolitan, an important event for you, as well as an important event for War and Peace to come to New York.
Let me tell you, we also proved that between Russia and America, on the high level of cooperation and importance, there could be a successful work together. That's important today in the world, I think, to see this kind of opportunity. Artists can build a bridge, then politicians have to be a bridge as well.
My impression, you will see more and more of this.
That's what we all hope for.
Don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And we have to help.
Thank you. Thank you.